When the lockdown started, this was the time for us to learn, improve and develop such systems whereby we can address COVID or any such challenges in the future. My ministry issued advisories to all the states and union territories to take up such measures which will, one, promote non-motorized transports, whether it is cycling or pedestrian pathways, so that one has to move from the motorized transport to the non-motorized transport. We also issued advisories to the states for pedestrianizing their main marketplaces so that there is no congestion and it is good for the COVID-19 kind of situation where one has to maintain physical distancing. In the month of June, once the lockdown was over and we had slow unlockdown, we wanted the public transport to pick up so that people don't go to their own private transport, and that required a regular sanitization, provision of sanitizing facilities to the passengers, maintaining physical distances, making sure they use their mask while they are traveling. So all these practices were adopted through the standard operating procedures, whether it was for the buses or for the metro, which has made a very big proliferation across the country. The third measure which we suggested for advisory was the use of IT, developing ITMS systems so that remotely one can control the traffic movement, one can provide all kind of passenger services. We launched a campaign, Cycle for Change. From our Smart Cities mission, we have learnt that once we challenge the cities, they come out with a lot of innovative practices where they can cut down the cost, they can utilize the available resources most optimally, and they can provide ease of living or better quality of life to the citizens. This challenge was for all cities whose population was 500,000 plus, or they were the capital cities. We are going to give certain awards and also handhold the cities once they submit their final proposals in ensuring that such projects which have been prepared by them during the challenge process, they get executed on the ground. In the month of September, we launched another challenge, that is Streets for People. This is to make sure that streets become more people friendly. They take care of the safety and security, they are more accessible to the children, to the old, to those who have got some kind of a disability. Recently, we have also developed our own National Common Mobility Card, which was launched by the Honorable Prime Minister in March 2019. Maybe we are going to be one of the first countries of this size which will have a single National Common Mobility Card with the standards which have been developed by your own corporation, NPCI, CDAC, BEL, State Bank of India. We have developed automatic fare collection gates, which we have been importing so far. We are trying to develop our own facility for accreditation as a part of our Atmanirbhar Bharat Self-Reliant India campaign. We want to make sure that when we are working on such a big volumes, our learnings go into developing our own system which can cater to the requirements of our own country. I am very happy that Professor Ian Gale is a keynote speaker in the inaugural session of our this year's UMI. I am sure in the field of engineering, civil engineering, architecture, planning, they would all like to listen to Professor Gale and learn from him how to provide the people's face to the planning, how to provide the best possible opportunities by utilizing what you have so that all the dreams, all the aspirations people have, they get realized in the cities. I wish everybody a very good learning from this year's 13th Urban Mobility India Conference, which is happening for the first time on the digital platform.